Hey everybody, welcome to part 3 of our wholesaling series. Today we're going to go over strategies for how and where to find your motivated sellers and distressed properties. If you haven't seen the Finding Cash Buyers video and done step 1 for that yet, go ahead and stop watching this video and go to the video that's up in the top right and watch that first. For some reason, if you already have a deal and you need a buyer, we now have a partnership program for my viewers and subscribers where we can actually help you get that sold. There's no membership fees or academies to sign up for, anything like that. I'm just going to help you get things moving and get started. So by now you should have a buyer's list already, and you should know what your buyers on that list are looking for. So now we just need to get them a deal. So as you learned from my other videos, we're looking for distressed properties, which are properties that are in need of repair. And typically those are going to be the best for wholesaling because they can be purchased for under market value. We specifically want to find distressed properties who have owners that are motivated to sell that property quickly. So finding a distressed property is going to enable you to sell that property for more than what you put it under contract for. We're going over a wholesaling strategy because of the little or no capital that is required to get started for it. Those that have little or no capital or little or no experience in real estate or wholesaling are typically going to look for free or inexpensive ways to locate the distressed properties and the motivated sellers. Seasoned investors are going to be able to use other means to locate the properties, and we can discuss that in another series. So what is a distressed property and a motivated seller? How do we get these deals? Why does this strategy work? What's the whole situation with this? So people we're targeting are people that have recently had a reason to sell their property and they need it gone as soon as possible. Reasons can include things like they lost a job, bankruptcy, divorce, got behind on their mortgage payments, foreclosure, legal troubles. Maybe they inherited a property, like an estate sale type thing. It could be a fire sale or house burned down. They got the insurance money. They just want to move on. There's a lot of different reasons. And we're going to help them out by getting them their deal sold quickly, get their property out of their hands, and they can be done with it. It can also be people that are done being landlords. They've done it for 20 years. They're sick of fixing toilets at 2 a.m. or maybe they're just ready to retire. They want to move. They need to get rid of it. They're an out-of-state investor that has a deal. There's tons of different ways and reasons that someone may become a motivated seller. But those are the kind of people that we're going to target. Okay, so you might ask, well, why don't they just list it with a realtor and just sell it? There's so many people looking for houses, and realtors are all connected, and the MLS and everything. But selling through the MLS typically is going to take 60 to 100, maybe even more days. And that's a very typical amount of time. Plus, you got realtor commissions, and you got open houses, and you have to pay for the property to be maintained or staged during that whole time. Maybe they're still living there, and they don't want people, coming up to their house at random times looking through their private stuff. So there's a lot of different reasons that you may want to avoid a realtor, especially two main ones are going to be cost because of paying that realtor. A lot of people just avoid it. And especially if they're trying to get it done for as little money as possible. And the second reason is just going to be time. So the sellers are going to value speed and simplicity over anything at this point. So that's what we're going to come in and help them out. So we're going to be able to offer them a very fast, all cash close, which is going to ease the process for them because, whatever else they're going through, it's one less, thing on their plate they have to worry about. They can get it done and taken care of. So that cash helps them out. They don't have to wait for a buyer to, if it's a family or whoever, now they have to go through the mortgage process, wait for underwriting, wait for them to get approved and all that. If you just walk in with cash, they always say cash is king. Here's $100,000, thanks for the house, buy, sign, it's over with. So we're going to discuss 7 different ways that I find are kind of the top or the most used strategies to find deals. So the ones we're going to look at are mailers, online groups, online ads, websites, bird dogs, bandit signs, and my favorite is going to be driving for dollars. So with online groups, you can use online groups in Facebook and LinkedIn to connect with different sellers in your area. So LinkedIn is going to be better for connecting with other wholesalers and buyers, but Facebook's a great place to find sellers because you can post about your cash for houses business on your newsfeed, timeline, whatever they call it now. You can also post in different groups about it. I know we have a group, it's called Bargains in our area, and there's a couple of different, all the cities around have it. So I'll just kind of post, my services out there frequently. Hey, we offer this. This is what we do. We can help you if you're in this situation. We help with, cash for homes. And then, you get a couple leads to trickle in for that. It's a little bit of passive marketing. You just kind of throw it out there. It's free. And then, you get some feedback from that. One thing I always tell everybody to do, tell everybody what you do. Put it out there for everybody. Every time you see somebody talk to somebody, guy at the gas station, a mailman is a great person to talk to because they're driving around all over the city. So they see different places, different houses, I've been delivering mail to this guy. It's just piling up. They're probably not living there. This might be a good distressed property. He tells you about it. You sell that deal, give him $500. That's what we call bird dogging. We'll get into that in a second. But, that's a great strategy for, not really doing anything. Milkman, that's even still a thing, would be a good option. But just tell everybody, put it on your Facebook, your Instagram, Twitter, Twitch feed, stream, LinkedIn, Steam account, whatever. Just put it out there for everybody so everybody knows what you do and they can get in contact with you. The more people you know that know about you, the more people that can contact you about it. I've talked to people before that had no idea I was into real estate, and they've had a house they've been trying to sell for years. And then it finally came up in conversation. Oh, hey, I had no idea you were in real estate. Hey, I've got this property, If I'd have just told them that, years ago, or if they'd have saw it on my Facebook or my email signature or whatever, they would have known about that, and I could have had that deal years ago. So, there's just always want to keep in contact with people. One of the first courses I went to in Florida, he told a story about the first mentor I had, that he actually got pulled over for speeding and ended up talking to the police officer and ended up getting a house for him. So, he wasn't trying to get out a ticket or anything. He's, do what you got to do, but let's meet up for coffee sometime. Let's talk about your situation. He was going through some stuff. They talked about it. He ended up getting a deal out of it. Just tell everybody. Second option is going to be websites. There's a lot of websites out there you can use. A good one is fsbo.com, or we can call it FSBO, for sale by owner. I love to use Craigslist. I've got 2 pieces of software that I use that will actually scrape through Craigslist and run different campaigns and look for keywords. I've got a huge list of keywords. I'm going to do a tools video, like I said, and I'll put those tools out there. And then I'll have a big list of keywords that you guys can use. Things like fire sale, estate sale, wholesale, handyman special, needs repairs, whatever. There's a whole bunch of you can use. And then it just gives me those lists of what I can see. And then I can pick through those properties. Okay, here's a good one. Takes 5 minutes every day. Look through those lists and, call them up and, see what's going on, see what you can get taken care of for those deals. So the third way I'm going to go over is going to be what we call bird dogs, which are basically property locators. And it's a great way to get deals is by hiring a bird dog. So bird dog, it's kind of like a wholesaler, but they do a lot less work, but they also make a lot less money. So it's kind of basically what you're going to do, like I said, with the mailman. So they're just going to find a deal. Hey, I found a property. It's got boarded up windows on it. Here's the address. So, it's not a whole lot of information, but you can do the due diligence from there. So that, it's not worth a whole lot to you. $500, okay, you gave me a good lead. But don't pay them unless it closes. So when they find the deal, you do the due diligence, and they find out how much the repairs are going to be worth, if you can actually contact the owner. And then when it does close and you get paid, after you get paid, then you can pay them a small kickback. You get $5,000, you can give them $500. That's not a huge deal. So those are good ways to kind of get people to find deals for you and kind of get more feelers out there to see more areas and see more of a different area. All right, method number 4 is going to be my favorite. It's called driving for dollars. So this is a tried and true method. It's free, it never gets old. People have been doing it since the beginning of real estate investing. Probably do it forever. And you literally just drive around your target area and look for properties. So something like a for sale by owner sign in the yard. Maybe they don't have it listed somewhere. Maybe you haven't seen it yet. Maybe it's not listed anywhere. So that's an easy way for you to get hold of them. That's the only way they're relying on that. There's not a lot of marketing involved there. Give them a call, see what's going on, get a deal done right there. You can also look for just distressed properties. So things like boarded up windows, overgrown grass, piles of mail, junk in the yard, lights aren't on at night, different things that would kind of allude to a property that's, nobody's living in. If you're comfortable with it, you can go up and actually talk to whoever's in the house if there's somebody there. If they're renting it out, hey, do you happen to have the owner's contact information? If you let them know, you're trying to buy it and fix it up, they're more likely to, oh yeah, sure, here you go. You're going to buy it and fix it up, and I can still live in it. Absolutely. This is who I pay my rent to, or whatever. If there's nobody in there, you can always ask the neighbors if they know who might own it. They have the contact information. Let them know you're looking to buy it and fix it up. If it's in really bad shape, their property values are probably going down. So you fixing it up is going to be good for them too. So they'll definitely be more willing to give you that information. If you're not real comfortable with going up and just talking to random people like I am, just grab the address, and like I mentioned in our cash buyers video, just look it up on the tax assessor website. And if you can't find it in your city or county website, you can actually go to netteronline.com. And if you go to their public records area and put in your information, you can actually find either their website or contact information for them, so you can get a hold of the public records for that. Some counties may not be digitized yet, so you might have to go there and actually look through some paper documents. But if you get the information that you need, get the owner's address, you can mail them, you can look them up on Facebook and direct message them. You can look them up on whitepages.com, get their phone number, call them up. If you can't find any information about them, you can do what's called skip tracing, and I'll do a video about skip tracing later. It's it's kind of in depth. There's a lot you can do there. A lot of different services that are involved with that. But find a way to get a hold of them. A lot of problems we have today that I see with a lot of my students, it's not a lack of resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness. So don't tell yourself, oh well, I don't have his phone number. I can't call him. Not you don't have it. Look for some more ways to get it. You got to stop that negative reinforcement and just okay, yeah, I don't have it. Let's go get it. Where can I find it? How can I get a hold of this guy? I can't get his phone number. Let me look him up on Facebook. Let me look him up on LinkedIn. There's so many ways to get a hold of people, especially with social media now. Things are so much easier. 10 years ago, none of this stuff was possible. So, it's just so much easier, and so many new strategies you can use now with ways you can contact people, especially via social media. Okay, so the last three ways are not going to be free, but they're great ways to get deals easily. We talked about mailers before in the cash buyers video about, getting mailers and how to respond to those, but you can also be the one to send those out. So if you have some startup capital, you can actually, like I said, there's different ways you can do it. There's services that you can use where you can just grab the yellow letters and just print them out yourself and mail them out. But you can get lists of people that are absentee owners, out-of-state landlords. I think people that own their homes free and clear, sometimes that's good. Foreclosures, pre-foreclosures, properties with liens on them, like tax liens, homeowners in probate, people filing for divorce or that have recently filed. And you can get these lists from attorneys, probate attorneys, divorce attorneys, estate attorneys, people that just inherited properties. Some realtors might have this information, and banks. Banks is a great place to find these kind of deals. So a bank's going to have what we call an REO deal, which stands for real estate owned, and that's what we call deals that are owned by the bank. Typically, those are taken back from like a foreclosure. So banks are not in the real estate business, and an empty house to a bank owner is worthless. If they have a house, they can't really do anything with it. They're not making any money off of it. They're actually paying money for it, paying taxes on it, maintenance and things like that. So to a bank, they do not want this deal. They don't want a property. So they're typically not into them for too much. So they may have a $100,000 house. They might have spent 40 grand on it. So a lot of times you can, they just want to get rid of it. If they can get 40 grand out of it, awesome. Maybe they want 50, it's still half off. That's a great deal. So they are still business. So we're not just going to give it away. So you are going to have to pay something for it. But it's a lot of properties out there that are owned by banks that you can scoop up, especially if they've had them for a long time and it's cost them a lot of money. They just want to get rid of it. You can also get lists from websites. I'll put the websites down below. Websites like usleadslist.com, listability.com, usprobateleads.com, and RealtyTrack. I don't think any of those are free, but just kind of like list source, you can get a list of people and then you can send out mailers that way. Bandit signs are a great way. Just like I said before, when you're contacting cash buyers, you can actually put the signs out yourself and get people to call you. These can be printed up, or it can just be a simple handwritten sign, just a 12 by 18 inch sign. You can just get it from Walmart or whatever, just Sharpie it out, and just go stick them in the ground. Just a simple, I buy houses cash and your phone number. It doesn't have to be a lot. You don't, if people are driving by it, you don't want it to be a whole lot. You want to be able to read it pretty quick or just snap a picture of it. When I see them, I just pull out my phone, just take a picture of it real fast. And when I get home, I'll deal with it because I can't write a number down that quick. These work great at stoplights. I see them sometimes when I'm driving down the road, and if I see it in somebody's yard, I read it. Oh, okay. Hey, that's a cash buyer, and the sign's gone, and now I have no idea what the number is. I'm not about to turn around and go back and take a picture of it. But if it's at a stoplight and I'm sitting there, I can look at it. I can read it. I can write it down if I want to. I can take a picture of it because I'm not moving. So stoplights are a better place for those. A lot of areas they kind of frown upon you putting them out there. They're really good to put in like low income areas, kind of like the blue collar type areas. Some places require you to have a permit, but kind of a sneaky way to get around that. If you put them out, I read if you put them out on Friday night after 5 p.m. when all the code assessors are kind of left, code enforcers, put them out, and then you can pick them up Sunday evening right before Monday morning, and then no one's really going to harass you about it for the most part. Probably the best way to get leads and possibly the most expensive is going to be online ads. So Facebook and Google ads are great. An awesome way to get sellers, especially if we use PPC, pay-per-click. So they're a little more expensive because of that pay-per-click. Every time somebody clicks on it, you have to pay for it. It's not half a penny or 20 cents. It depends on how big your ads are. And there's a whole big thing about what they call SEO, search engine optimization, and depending on what your click-through rate is, and it changes your high-quality score that Google uses, can change your different ad ratings so they show up more often. If you show up more often, then your ads are cheaper. And if people are clicking on them and they go all the way through, then they're cheaper. And there's a whole lot to cover there. But there's plenty of companies out there that'll do it for you. But we'll do a whole series on SEO and on online ads. But just something simple you can target in your area. So people in other states aren't clicking on them. So something you can just put like sell my house Miami or fast cash for house Florida. And then you can actually target it so they don't show up outside of certain zip codes so that you're not having to pay for those people outside to click on it. All right, so once you find that property, you find that deal, and you talk to the seller and kind of see where they're at, we're going to do a little bit of due diligence first. We need to get estimates on the rehab, and we need to see what the property is going to be worth and see if it's actually a deal or just somebody selling a property. If they're not truly a motivated seller and they're just someone that wants to sell their house, if they're trying to sell it for close to what it's worth, it may be listed for 2 or 3 years. And a lot of realtors will tell them, your house isn't worth $100,000. You probably should sell it for about 70. And people are stubborn. No, sell it for 100, and they'll sit on their house for years, and then it continues to degrade and gets worse. But that being aside, once we find a motivated seller, someone that's truly a motivated seller with a distressed property, get that under contract, and then get it out to our buyers. So next week we'll go over a little bit about the due diligence that needs to be done ahead of time. So we're going to have to do things like get an estimate on the repairs that need to be done and things such as comparable sales in the area to see what it's going to be worth. And we'll cover some more stuff like that next week. So look forward to that again. So that's some ways to kind of get some properties and find some deals that are out there. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I'll respond to the first 1,000 comments on this one. Also, make sure to hit the like on the video and if you learned something. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on the next free video. And give me some comments down below, especially if you guys learned anything.